All right, shalom. This is the brother Michael Ward from GMS Lake Charles Camp, coming at you giving another video through the Spirit. But before I do anything, I'll give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who strive and taught us this truth. And blessings to you brothers across four winds, pushing this truth with sincerity. All right, I came across another quote, and that quote is what, I say quote, yeah, that quote is what inspired this video, you know? And the quote says, be patient. Sometimes you have to go through the worst to get to the best, you know, and it had me thinking, you know, all day at work, you know, we're going to go through the worst, you know, to get to the best, you know, and that worst, you know, is going to be Jacob's trouble, you know, because Jacob's trouble is going to be like a time never seen before, you know. Jacob's trouble is not going to be, you know, smooth sailing, you know. It's not going to be easy, you know, in those upcoming times. But these are things that we have to go through, you know, to get the best. This is Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of heaven. Right, man. And when you go into that word tribulation, you know, it talks about, you know, the different trials that we're going to be faced with, man. You know? So we're going to go through certain things, you know, before we enter into the kingdom of heaven. And the things that we're going to go through, you know, is not going to be light. You know? The things that we go through are going to be hard. You know? But, you know, we have Yahweh Bashim Yahushua on our side, man. You know? We have to replay these scriptures in our head, man. That's why it's good to be reading and studying, you know, reading different accounts of how the Lord got, you know, certain men out of different situations, because he's going to do the same thing with us. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 10. It say, look at the generations of old. Salaki. It said, Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 10. It said, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? And this is things, you know, you have to ask yourself, man. You know? Did no one ever put their trust in the Lord, you know, and was confounded? No one. Every time somebody put their trust in the Lord, you know, or called upon him, he came through, man. You know, he never forsake us, man. He always came through. Likewise in these times, you know, he's going to come through for us. You know, when we need him, he's going to, you know, show up and show out. But you have to have that patience for him to show out. You know, you can't be so quick to move. You have to know that the Lord is working. You know, he's going to show his power, but you have to let him. Verse 12, it say, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering, very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of afflictions. Right. The Lord is going to save us in our time of affliction. You know, the Lord is going to be with us, man. You know, the Lord knows what we can handle and what we can't handle. You know, when things start getting when things start getting too tough, you know, he gonna get us up out of there. You're gonna get us up out of those situations, man. But you have to believe. You have to believe and know that the Lord is gonna, you know, save you in your time of affliction. Because the times are going to get bad, man. It's going to get real bad out here to where people are going to begin to lean up on their own understanding, man. You know, and by you leaning up on your own understanding, you know, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that deliverance, you know, from whatever you're faced with. By you leaning according to your own understanding, you're going to get destroyed. The scriptures say, trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Lean not according to your own understanding. So it may look like there's no way out, but don't lean according to that, man. Trust in the Lord. You know, nothing is impossible for the Lord. The Lord can get you through any situation. This is Psalms chapter 50 and verse 15. It's saying, call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. Right, man? So when that day of trouble come, you know, we have to call upon the Lord. You know, we have to put everything in the Lord's hands. Let him take care of it. You know, because he's going to get us through it. He says he's going to get us through it, man. You know, he said he's going to be with us every step of the way. So we have to trust in him. You know, we can't put trust in anything else. You know, how these, I'm in my car and it's raining outside, but how certain people, you know, going to try to put their trust in their sword or put their trust in, carnality things. You know, we can't do that. You know, we have the true power that we have to trust in. One that's going to get us through every situation, man. But that's when that patience kick in. This is Romans chapter 12 and verse 12. It say, rejoicing in hope, patience in tribulation, continue instant in prayer. Right, man. So in those times of trouble, you know, we have to continue instant in prayer. Continue to call upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Continue to let him know, hey, Lord, I need help. You know, that's when we go through these things, that's all the Lord really wants. You to acknowledge that you need help, you to have patience and trust in him, and he's going to come and get you up out of those situations, man. That's it. You know, it's easier said than done, you know, but we have to be patient. We have to be patient, man. And I'm talking to myself first and foremost, you know, because the men of the Lord, you know, we're going to be tried on a different level. You know, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a cakewalk. It's going to get hard. It's going to get hard out here, man. You know, it's going to be like a time never seen before. The scriptures say mighty men shall cry bitterly. We're coming into some evil times. But what the scriptures say, that's what we have to keep these scriptures running within our inward parts, man. That's the only way, you know, we're going to survive. That's the only way we're going to keep going in this thing, man. This is Isaiah chapter 41 and verse 10. It say, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee. Yea, will I help thee. I will uphold thee with the right hand of righteousness. Right, man. In these times, the Lord is going to strengthen us. The Lord is going to help us. You know, he's going to be with us, man. These are the scriptures that we have to think upon and know. The Lord is he's going to show out, man. You know, he's going to show out on a different scale. But you have to wait for it. You know, don't be so quick to move. Don't be so quick to act. You know, let the Lord work it out how he find fit for it to work out, man. You know, if you have to go through certain things, you know that the Lord is going to give you the strength to get through those things, man. You know, he got the angels are going to be here, man. The angels are going to be on our side, strengthening us, getting us out of certain situations, guiding us through, you know, different avenues, man. Man, the Lord is going to show out, man. You know, when you read the stories about, you know, different prophets, you know, going through certain situations, and you see how the Lord, you know, delivered them, got them through certain situations, you be like, damn, bro. Damn, he really did that? But the Lord is going far past that this time, man. You know, he's going to show his glory, man. He's going to show that he's really in control of this thing, man. This is Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 6. It say, be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid. Be afraid of them. For the Yahweh, for Yahweh thy power, he is that do go with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee. Right, man. You know, so we have to be strong. You know, the scriptures say the righteous man going to stand in great boldness. We have to be strong, man, and of good courage. You know, it's easier said than done, but we can't fear none of these things that we be faced with, man. You know, we have to know that the Lord is with us and he's going to get us out of these situations, man. Or if we have to go through these situations, he's going to strengthen us, give us the strength that we need to endure, you know, because the Lord is not coming back, you know, to play. You know, his enemies are going to get dealt with, man. You know, the Lord is going to, man, the ones that's out here, the ones that's going to be, you know, treading down the prophets, you know, doing the prophets harm, the Lord is going to come back and get with them, man. That's why the scriptures say, avenge not yourselves, because vengeance is for the Lord, man. So we have to be patient. You know, yes, we're going to have to go through, you know, these tough times, you know, these bad times, but it's not going to compare to the glory, it's not going to compare to the gift that we have if we endure to the end. You know, the scriptures say he that endured to the end, the same should be saved, man. We have to endure the things that we're going to be faced with to get to our kingdom, man. That everlasting life, that everlasting joy. That's what we're fighting for. So we can't go through these tough times and then throw the towel in, man. You know that we are closer and closer every day we wake up, man. It say, be patient. Sometimes you have to go through the worst to get to the best, right, man? We're going to go through the worst, you know, to get to that kingdom, man. It's not just going to be handed to us, you know, but we have to know everything that we're going through, you know, is going to end soon, you know. This is not, when they come down on the prophets, you know, it's not going to last, you know, forever, you know. Know that the Lord got something stored up for you, man. So, you know, Lord willing, you know, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who strive and taught us this truth. And peace, safety, and blessings to your brothers across 4 winds, pushing the truth and sincerity. Until next time, shalom.